Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel to spend some time with me and check the video out. I always appreciate that. And guys, today we're going to be talking about custom painted lures, if they're worth it or not to get a lure custom painted. I've been using them for a long time, probably 25 or 30 years, and I got some pretty strong opinions on it. I'm going to share with you guys in today's video. Also guys, if you hear it out there, we got a nice little late summer thunderstorm going on right now, so you might hear some thunder out there in the background if you want to know what that noise was. Also guys, quick reminder out there, just wanted to let you guys know that we have our fall Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns up on the website now. If you guys are interested in getting one, I'll put the Fish the Moment lake map breakdown link in the description. Guys, these are maps that I built specifically for Fish the Moment. Lakes all across the country, all 4 seasons. It's a great resource to learn more about your favorite lake or a lake you've never been onto. So check it out in the description of the video. Really appreciate that. Okay guys, I've been using custom painted lures for years because one of the things in fishing, it's like you're always looking for some type of an advantage, especially if you're a tournament angler. So one of the things that has always given me more confidence in fishing is if I have a lure color that nobody else has. Probably the hardest thing for me to do is to go buy some lure off the shelf that everybody else uses, and for me to get confidence in that because I know that everybody uses it. A prime example is like when the Sexy Shad color came out. You know, I quit using the Sexy Shad color because every tackle store in the country had a ton of Sexy Shad color. So I started trying to come up with some color variations myself that I thought looked good. And I got a few friends that paint lures, and they started painting them. So here's a couple of different examples, guys. This is one a friend of mine, David Ryan, paints right here. This is called a ring perch. And what I was wanting, how I came up with this color, how David did, and why I like it, is everybody knows that like a black and chartreuse, let me see if I can pull one out here. Just the old standard black and chartreuse crankbait like this has always been effective. But I wanted something a little bit subtler and a little bit duller, and this is what Dave came out with. You can see the difference in there. So this is something you can't buy in the store, and I've caught a ton of fish on it. And another reason, it's like I was fishing a tournament down at Lake Toho, Bassmaster Invitational down at Lake Toho a few years ago, and I was doing really good in the tournament. I think I finished in the tournament in the top 15 or something. I was catching all my fish on a jerkbait, but in the tournament, I was catching more crappie on my jerkbait than I was bass. The crappie were everywhere. So I said, man, I need a crappie pattern jerkbait, and you can't find one. So I had Dave paint me up this crappie pattern to match it. Went down there the following year and just wrecked them on the crappie pattern. So thing about lure colors out there, as far as custom painted lures, a couple different reasons why you want to consider this. First of all, if the lake that you fish has some type of a forage in it that is unique, a lot of times you can look at that forage and look at the coloration in it. You know, if you think the fish are feeding on perch or, you know, crappie or crawdads or whatever, pay close attention to that, and you can have a custom color painted just by that. One of the things I've done is I've taken pictures of crawdads, I've taken pictures of different type of bait fish, sent them, and I said, this is what I want here, and you can duplicate that. The next thing with it is certain colors just sometimes look good in the water, because let's say, for example, you have a stock color that you get off the shelf and you put it in the water, and it may look a little bit too bright, or maybe it blends in a little bit too much, and you want a lure that's a little brighter or one that's a little bit duller. You can take it to a custom painter and tell them that. Say, look, I like this color. You know, say for example, you know, if you had let me pull one out here. But if you had some type of a shad pattern or something like this, and you could tell the person, like, okay, here's the bait that I'm catching a few fish on. I want this bait a little bit brighter, or I want a different color back, or I want it, you know, I want it a little bit more blending in where it's not quite so bright. Based upon whatever you're trying to, you know, duplicate, you can have them do that there. And the biggest thing that I have seen is once you do have a custom colored lure and you start catching a few fish on it, guys, don't underestimate how much confidence can give you that you have something that nobody else has. I've got about probably a dozen different lures that I've come up with colors myself that I had them painted. And those dozen lures that I'm talking about, those are my confidence base, because I know when I go to the lake and if I start catching a few fish on it, you know, I'm going to get some bites on it. I'm going to, and it's going to give me confidence above anything else. prime example is what I'm talking about. I fished last year, we were fishing the Kentucky Lake Toyota Series tournament. And the crankbait that I wound up catching them on, I had sent this crankbait to be custom colored, and it turned out wrong. So I was wanting this certain look, this certain colored lure, the way it looked. And this guy that painted it for me, he sent me back, and it's like, it didn't look anything like it. It was like, I was super disappointed. It's like, God dang it, this, I said to myself, somebody in first grade could have done a better job on this. This is not what I wanted. How in the world could he have messed up this bad? And I was fishing about 3 years ago, and I just happened to see that bait in there, crankbait, and I started throwing it, and I started killing them on it. And I wound up finishing in the top 20 in that tournament, that Kentucky Lake tournament, on that crankbait that I thought looked like crap. So you never know what the fish are going to react to. One of the biggest things in fishing is it's not necessarily so much the color that you throw, it's the color that the fish have never seen before. Some of them work, some of them don't, but in this situation, the guy that painted that lure the way I didn't want it, it turned out to be super appealing to the bass. So you never know until you experiment. And the best advice I can give you guys, if you got an idea on a bait color, just have it done. Even if it doesn't look that great, if it's something completely off the wall, just the fact that it's new to the fish and they haven't seen it and they haven't been conditioned to it, it makes them bite it a lot of times. So anyway, I hope it helps you out. We'll talk later.